Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's episode of the Morte. We finally had the identity of Sir Beaumain revealed. So, hello everyone. Hello. Who we got coming in? Francis, you're here. And Carly and Rosella. Hello. Happy week everyone. How is everyone this Monday? We're on a Monday, aren't we? Yes. We're on Monday. How is everyone? Monday. I'm very well. A little bit tired, but I'm okay. Hello, Carly. How are you? Ciao, Rosella. Ciao. I hope Italy is very nice tonight. It's cold over in England, so I've got the heating on, and knitwear is going to be back and playing a big role in my life. I can see as I keep off the Yorkshire chill. Hello, Mary. Come in. And Luca. Hello, and Danny and Susie and Man, and Francis is staying this time. Hello, Mary. How are you? Come in, everyone. Come in. Awesome, Carly. That is exciting news. In what way has it inspired you? And thank you, Susie. I am partial to this big full-up of hair. I, Mary, am very well, thank you. A wee bit tired. I've had a very early start today and spent most of today on trains going backwards and forwards, falling asleep on them. But I am awesome. Oh, a children's poetry comp? That is incredibly awesome. I love that, Carly. Love that. Well, thank you, Sup Mashton Cake. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Hello over in Italy. Excellent, Hagen. Well, I'm glad the happiness and the enthusiasm is contagious. Unfortunately, Declan is we don't like that kind of comment, do we? No, it's made out of wool, just in case anybody was wondering, from sheep. Hello, Susan. Come in. How are you? How is everyone this evening? I hope that you're all very, very well. I'm very excited to see you all. So, I don't know what he was on about, Ash. Strange chap. Do I know any words in Italian? Ciao. Bella. Bellissimo. Cappuccino. Mozzarella. Carpaccio. Gnocchi. And yeah, we can see that Simon's knowledge of Italian is basically taken from the Silver Spoon cookery book. Yep, that's about the extent of my Italian. If it's not in the Silver Spoon cookery book, I kind of don't know it. That's where it all comes from. So I must apologise. We'll just end that one there before we get any further and get into tonight's episode of Le Morte. So welcome everyone, welcome to those of you who are new. I am Simon, I tell tales, I tell in fact the Arthurian tales as written down hundreds and hundreds of years ago by Sir Thomas Malory, and we are currently telling the tale of Sir Beaumain. Don't tell me I'm pronouncing gnocchi incorrectly, Rosella. The little potato, it's like potato dumplings, you put the flour and the potato and you roll it out and then you chop it and then you put it in the boiling water until it rises. No, it's Italian. Yes, what Rosella's saying, gnocchi. Clearly I need to either take lessons in Italian or just stop speaking it entirely. Hello, Noel. Hello. Come in, as these lovely Italian ladies are showing up my lack of Italian. Bless you. Bless them. Anyway, thank you, Carly. Thank you. A for effort, and we'll be generous, shall we? And say I've got a C for execution there. Maybe a C plus. Well, Hagen, I'm glad that you're enjoying it. London was lovely. A little bit wet and drizzly. No, a little bit wet and drizzly, but not too bad at all. Anyway, into tonight's tale, ladies and gents. So, a quick recap to the tale of Sir Beaumain. And we'll do this one really quick as a recap, as we're getting quite far into the tale. Sir Gareth, the son of the evil Sir Lot, brother of the noble Sir Gawain, son also of the evil witch Morgane le Fay, colourful family, has chosen to prove himself as a knight not by title or by his family connections, but by deeds alone. And so he came to King Arthur's castle, disguised as a knight, Sir Beaumain, and since then has spent the past 6 months, really, following quests and working to rescue the Lady de Leon from the Knight of the Red Lands, in the hope that if he could go and save the Lady de Leon from the Knight of the Red Lands, and do so while he himself was a knight with no great title, then perhaps people would see his worth for who he truly was as a great knight of the realm. The plan's gone well. In the end, the plan has gone well. Sir Beaumain has gone on and seen off the Knight of the Red Lands, asked the Lady de Leon to love him. She would not pledge her love for him unless he was actually a great knight. And now, after capturing his page, she's discovered that he is in fact a great knight. He is Sir Gareth of Orkney. Wedding bells are in the air between these two lovebirds now. But even though Sir Gareth has been revealed as Sir Gareth, even though the Lady de Leon has shown her love for him, even though the Knight of the Red Lands is vanquished, we still have some danger and adventures to come. Ladies and gents, I'm enthusiastic because you guys are here to make me enthusiastic, Hagen. Ladies and gents, let's get into tonight's show. It was at night, the night after the Lady de Leon declared her love for Sir Gareth, and he declared it back, that she asked to know for cause and certainty what was his name and of what kin he came. And once Sir Beaumain had been revealed as Sir Gareth, then she fetched her sister Lynette, the damsel who had ridden with Gareth over many a wildsome way. Then Sir Gareth was more gladder than ever he was before, and the two lovers troth plight to each other's love, and they declared that never would their love fail while their life lasteth. And so they burnt both in love, and they were accorded to abate their lusts in secret. And there the Lady de Leon counselled Sir Gareth to sleep in no other place but in the hall. Yes, there's a bit of naughty in this bit. And there she promised him to come to his bed a little before midnight. This counsel was not so privily kept, but it was understood, for they were but both young and of a tender age, and they had not used none such crafts before. Wherefore the damsel Lynette was a little displeased, and she thought that her sister, the Lady de Leon, was a little over hasty, and that she might abide time for her marriage, and save her worship, and she thought to abate her sister's hot lusts. Hello, Carolina, by the way. Hello. Welcome back to the comment section. And so, the Dame Lynette let ordain by her subtle crafts that they had not their intents neither with each other as in their delights until they were married. And so it passed on. After supper was made clean avoidance that every lord and lady should go to his rest. But Sir Gareth said plainly he would go no further than the hall, for in such places, he said, it was convenient for an errant knight to take his rest in. And so there were ordained great couches and feather beds, and there he laid himself down to sleep. And within a little while came the Lady the Leon, wrapped in a mantle furred with ermine, and she laid herself down beside Sir Gareth, and therewith he began to kiss her. And then he looked afore him, and there he perceived and saw come an armed knight with many lights about him, and this knight had a long gisarm in his hand, and he made a grim countenance to smite him. And when Sir Gareth saw him come in that way, he leapt out of his bed, and he got in his hand his sword, and he leapt straight towards the knight. And when the knight saw Sir Gareth come so fiercely upon him, he smote him with a foin through the thick of the thigh, and the wound was a shaftman broad, and had cut too many veins and sinews. Therewithal Sir Gareth, bleeding heavily, smote him upon the helm such a buffet that the knight fell grovelling. Then he leapt over him, unlaced his helm, and smote the head off the body. Then he bled so fast that he might not stand, but so he laid himself down upon his bed, and there he swooned and lay as if he was dead. And the Lady the Leon cried aloud, and her brother Sir Gringamore heard, and she came down, and when he saw Sir Gareth so shamefully wounded, he was sore displeased, and said, I am shamed that this noble knight is thus honoured. Sir, said Sir Gringamore, how may this be that he be here, and this noble knight wounded? Brother, she said, I cannot tell you, for it was not done by me, nor by my assent. For he is my lord, and I am his, and he must be my husband. Therefore, my brother, I would that you would know that I shame me not to be with him, nor to do him all the pleasure that I can. Sister, said Sir Gringamore, and I will that you know it, and Sir Gareth both, that it was never done by me, nor by my assent, that this happy deed was done. And there they staunched his bleeding as well as they might, and made great sorrow, so that Sir Gringamore and Dame Leon, and therefore there came the Dame Lynette, and she took up the head in the sight of them all, and anointed it with an ointment there as it was smitten off, and in the same way she did to the other part there as the head stuck, and she set it together, and stuck the headless knight's head back to his body as fast as ever it was whilst he lived. And the dead knight arose lightly up, and the damsel Lynette put him in her chamber. All of this was seen by Sir Gringamore and the Lady de Leon, And so did Sir Gareth see it as well. And well he saw it was the damsel Lynette that rode with him through the perilous passages. "Ah, well, damsel," said Sir Gareth, "I weened that you would not have done as you would have done." "My lord Gareth," said Lynette, "all that I have done I will avow, and all that I have done shall be for your honour and worship, and to us all." And so, within a while, Sir Gareth was nigh whole, and he waxed light and jocund, and sang, danced, and gamed. And he and the Dame Leon were so hot in burning love that they made their covenant at the 10th night after, that she should come to his bed again. And by cause he was wounded afore, he laid his armour and his sword nigh by his bedside. Oh, ladies and gents, this is way better than 50 Shades of Grey. This is bloody 50 Shades of Metal and Swords. It seems that hot young couple, Sir Gareth and the Lady de Leon, I just can't keep their hands off each other, and the Lady de Leon's sister Lynette, not wanting the Lady de Leon's honour to be taken, has decided to intervene by sending a knight to attack Sir Gareth as he lay in the bed, badly wounding him. But once Sir Gareth lopped off his head, the Lady de Leon somehow managed to magic the head back onto his body. What sorcery is this? Either way, having a ghastly wound in his thigh hasn't put Sir Gareth off from trying a second time to bed his beloved, although this time he's taking his armour and leaving it by the nightstand. Ladies and gents! Oh, but less fun, Danny, less fun doing it that way. Let's get into the second half of tonight's tale. Right as the Lady de Leon promised, she came, and she was not so soon in his bed that she spied an armed knight coming toward the bed, and so she warned Sir Gareth, and lightly, through the good help of the Dame Leon, he was armed, and they hurtled together with great ire and malice, and all about the hall. And there was great light, as if it had been the number of 20 torches both before and behind, so that Sir Gareth strained him, and so that his old wound burst and began to bleed. But he was hot and courageous, and he took no keep, but with his great force he struck down that knight, voided his helm, struck off his head for the second time. Then, this time, he hewed the head into 100 little pieces, and when he was done, he took up all those pieces and threw them out of the window into the moat of the castle. And when this was done, he was so faint that he might not stand for bleeding, and by when he was almost unarmed, he fell in a deadly swoon on the floor. And then the Lady de Leon cried so that Sir Gringamore heard, and when he came and found Sir Gareth in that plight, he made great sorrow, and there he awakened Sir Gareth, and gave him a drink that relieved him wonderfully well. But the sorrow that the Dame de Leon made, there may no tongue tell, for she so fared with herself as she would have died, and right so came the damsel Lynette before them all, and she had fetched all the gobbets of the head that Sir Gareth had thrown out of a window, and there she anointed them in oils, just as she had done before, and set them together again. "Well," damsel Lynette, said Sir Gareth. I have not deserved all this despite that you have done unto me. Sir Knight, she said, I have nothing done, but I will avow that all I have done shall be to your worship and to us all. And then was Sir Gareth staunched of his bleeding, but the leeches said there was no man that bare the life should heal him throughout of his wound, but if they healed him that caused that stroke by enchantment. And so we leave Sir Gareth there with Sir Gringamore and his sisters, and we turn to King Arthur, who, at the next feast of Pentecost, held his court with his knights, and there came the Green Knight that had been defeated by Sir Gareth, who came to Arthur's court with 50 knights, as Gareth had demanded of him, and yielded them all unto the service of King Arthur. And then there came the Red Knight, his brother, who yielded himself to King Arthur with 60 knights, just as Sir Gareth had required him to do when he defeated him in battle. And then came the Blue Knight, brother to the previous 2, with 100 knights. As he was commanded by Sir Gareth, he yielded them all. Then the Green Knight's name, who was Pertolope, and the Red Knight's name, who was Perimond, and the Blue Knight's name was Sir Persant of Inde, and these 3 brethren told King Arthur how they were overcome by a knight and a damsel he had with him, and the knight was called Beaumain. Jesus, said the king, I marvel what knight he is, and of what lineage he has come. He was with me 12 months ago, and poorly and shamefully he was fostered, and Sir Kay, in scorn, named him Beaumain. And so, right as the king stood talking with these 3 brethren, there came Sir Lancelot the Lake. And Lancelot told the king that there was come a goodly lord with 600 knights with him. Then the king went out of his castle at Carlion, for there was the feast being held, and he came to this lord and saluted him in a goodly manner. What will you? Said King Arthur, and what is your errand? Sir, he said, my name is the Red Knight of the Red Lands, but my name is Sir Ironside, and sir, you should know well that I am sent to you by a knight that is called Beaumain, for he defeated me in plain battle hand for hand, and so did never no knight before he, and that ever had the better of me this 30 winter, the which he commanded me to yield to you at your will. You are welcome, said the king, for you have been long a great foe to me and my court, and now I trust to God that I shall so entreat you that you shall be my friend. Sir, both I and these 500 knights shall always be at your summons to do you service, as may lie in our powers. Jesus mercy, said King Arthur, I am much beholden unto the knight that hath put to his body in the vow to worship me at my court. And as to you, Ironside, that are called the Red Knight of the Red Lands, you are called a perilous knight. And if you will hold of me, I shall worship you and make you a knight of the Round Table. But then you must no more be a murderer. Sir, as to that, I have promised unto Sir Beaumain never more to use such customs. For all the shameful customs that I used, I did so at the request of a lady that I loved, and therefore I must go now unto Sir Lancelot and Sir Gawain, and ask them forgiveness of the evil will that I had unto them, for all that I put to death was all only for the love of Sir Lancelot and of Sir Gawain. "They be here now," said the king afore thee. "Now you may say to them what you will." And then he kneeled unto Sir Lancelot and to Sir Gawaine, and prayed them of forgiveness of his enmity that ever he had against them. That got a bit steamy, didn't it, ladies and gents? And let that be a lesson to anybody thinking of making hey nonny nonny outside of wedlock. There's a danger that a knight that just can't be killed will come and do you some serious injury to your leg. But there we leave tonight's tale, with the knights that Sir Gareth defeated going to King Arthur and asking for pardon, and Sir Gareth left in bed with a horrible wound to his leg that it seems no healing will come to that wound, no proper healing at least, unless he finds someone with an enchanter's touch. We'll find out tomorrow how the tale of Sir Gareth continues, and how he fares, and how he gets on with that poor leg of his, and the crucial question: does he ever get to spend some special time with his lady love? All good stuff coming up. So I hope you enjoyed that show. I enjoyed telling that. Certainly, I could see that Joe and Susan definitely had some special of there. I personally prefer Hey Nonny Nonny Danny, but from what I'm aware, yes, the enchanted touch might just be the slang that they're going for. Hey Nonny Nonny is the good one. Is the good one. Yes. Wee bit steamy. Yeah, they'll be broadcasting this on HBO before you know it. But all good stuff to come this week as we go and tell the tale of Sir Gareth of Orkney. So very much looking forward to that. Poetry Live coming up in a couple of minutes. We've just got to go and run downstairs. Tonight we're doing La Fleur de Mal by Baudelaire. So in English, just to be clear, I'll be reading it in English. I do have a French version as well, but I'll do it in translation. So Simon reading some Baudelaire to you all, coming up next in a few minutes on Poetry Live. So very much looking forward to that. Going to go run downstairs now, go and grab myself some poetry. Yes, we'll be doing the vampire as well. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes for that. Thank you so much for coming tonight, everyone. I hope you guys really enjoyed tonight's tale. Naughtiness and smiting, and headless knights that just don't seem to give up. Excellent. Well, I don't know French either. I can just read French in an awful accent. My French is about as good as my Italian, Rosella. Absolutely, it was, Danny. Right, I'm off to run down, then I'll be back. See you guys in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.